Night. So, as always, I'm your girl, Candy Washington. And before we dive into today's key, which is Jen Shah from The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, being exposed for being a part of a very loud and public and explosive fight. Don't worry, you guys, we are going to watch the clip. But before we do that, you guys know what to do. Go ahead and like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it when we go live. Also, be sure to share this with a friend because a key is always better with community. Check out the description box down below and shop our love collection. So with that, you guys, let's dive right on in. So this is according to TMZ. We will go through the article. It's pretty short, really quickly. It gives a good background information, and then we will watch the clip together, and then we'll discuss what we think is going on in the clip, okay? So again, the source is TMZ. Real Housewife of Salt Lake City star Jen Shah, blowout public argument, okay? It says update. 10:39 a.m. A source close to Jen Shah tells TMZ she was leaving dinner with friends when two strangers started hurling homophobic slurs. The source says Jen was reacting to the strangers who are not seen in the video. Let's see if that makes sense after we watch the video, okay? Jen Shah's sentencing in her fraud case isn't the only thing she's on edge about these days. The Real Housewife absolutely lost it during an explosive argument, screaming and cussing on the streets of Salt Lake City. TMZ obtained this intense footage of Jen and four other people having a blowout in downtown Salt Lake City. And you hear Jen scream several times, "F you." We're told this heated showdown happened around 9:50 p.m. on November 5th. As they say, Saturday night's all right for fighting. It's unclear what sparked the dispute or who the other combatants are, but there's some clear chatter about someone's husbands. Okay, now this is the thing. We're gonna watch the footage, don't worry. But my question is, if they're talking about someone's husband, okay, then how come in the update it says she was reacting to the strangers? If they're strangers, how are you talking about their husbands? You would have to know who these people are. You would have to know if they're married. You would have to know the situation. We're gonna watch it, but I want us to keep in mind these tidbits as we watch it, okay? Now, then it says there's also one person, not Jen, who hurls a homophobic slur a few times. You can understand why Jen might be wound pretty tight. She's about to find out her punishment after copping a plea deal in her fraud case. As we reported, Jen went before a federal judge in July and pled guilty to one count of conspiracy to commit wire fraud in connection with telemarketing. As part of her plea deal, the feds dropped one count of conspiracy to commit money laundering, but she could still get up to 14 years behind bars. At the end of the Saturday night argument, Jen stormed off, and our law enforcement sources say cops were not called to the scene. Okay, again, keep a couple of things in mind. Allegedly, this fight is happening over two strangers, but yet they're talking about people's husbands and they're using people's names. And also keep in mind the energy between Jen and the guy who's very aggressive in the scene, that in the fight that she's talking to. Based on their energy, it seems like there is a history there, but that's just me. Again, they said that the two strangers weren't in the video, but yet she's fighting with a guy who is clearly in the video, okay? So just keep all that in mind, and now let's watch the video. If there's any issues with the video, let me know, and thank you guys for holding me down. I really, really appreciate it, okay? This is from TMZ. All right, let's watch.
yourself. Shut the fuck up. No, fuck that. Someone talk about
So that was the clip from TMZ, you guys. Now, I'm just saying it doesn't seem like that's a fight between strangers, as they're trying to say. To me, that seems like that's a fight between two people who know each other. Maybe strangers said something and popped it off. I was trying to listen to see what the names that they were saying. It seemed like they were saying, the first time I heard it, it seemed like they were saying Angie. Angie would never say that. And I was like, oh, is this fight about Angie K? You know, how her husband set up that whole fake, that Finsta account, Shah exposed. I was like, oh, is that what they're fighting over? He was like, Angie would never say that. And then the chick's like, the husband said it, the husband, I defend you, I believe you. I was like, is this about Angie, not Angie K, I'm so sorry, Angie Harrington and her husband, right? Is it about that? But then I listened again and I was like, are they saying Maddie would never say that? It's hard to really parse it out, but you can see Jen Shah has no chill. She is still screaming in public. She's still fighting in public. I mean, if it were me and I was about to be sentenced, the last thing I would do would be doing anything that could land me in more legal trouble, right? I would just do, I just don't get it. Like, what were you screaming about? What was the situation? Strangers were saying homophobic slurs and that popped you off to that level. And then you're talking to the guy in the red shirt that you seem to clearly have a history with. Why is he popping off? Does he know the strangers? Like, it's just unclear what's going on. But what you do see is going on is just, again, more mess, more drama, more not controlling your emotions, more popping off. And the cameras weren't even there. Like, chick, this is just who you is. And don't forget when Jen Shah's ex stylist or dress designer, remember when he secretly taped her and then he leaked it when she was like being verbally abusive to him, you know, and then he leaked it out and all that stuff. So this isn't the first time where we've seen, you know, on camera pop off Jen actually be that in real life. It's not just for show. It's not just for, you know, the cameras. That's really who she is. And that's very, very disturbing. Like, I don't get the fight. I don't understand it. I think there's more to it. I don't think it was necessarily just random strangers that made that explosive. If it is, that's bizarre to me. But I want to know what you guys think. Put it down in the comments below. Can you hear her saying, do you think that they're saying Angie would never say that, as in Angie Harrington? Does it sound like Maddie to you? And do you believe what the source close to Jen is saying, that it was just two random strangers who said some homophobic slurs, and it just so happens that Jen heard that and she was so offended, she started having a public violent fight saying F you and yelling and talking about husbands and all of this stuff because two perfect strangers said something bizarre? Does that make sense? Or do you think they're fighting about something that they know that's personal to them, something going on in their life? Let me know what you think makes more sense. I'm going to do my quick outro for people watching on the replay, but stick around, Candy Canes, because I want to take your comments and your questions. So as always, comment down below and be sure to like this video. Subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it when we go live. Also be sure to share this with a friend because a kiki is always better with community. Check out our description box and shop our love collection. We've got a ton of stuff down there, so go ahead and treat yourself. We got a lot of stuff, guys. With that, let's get into some of our Candy Cane comments. All right, you guys, let's get into it. All right, Kat says no sound. Thank you guys for letting me know. I don't know what happened, but you know what? We got through. Hey, Caramel Kisses. Hi, Candy and the Candy Canes. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Yes. Let's see. Miss T, Candy is really talking to I was just a la 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 la. I was just going. let me play myself right now. Let me play myself. Kat says, beautiful Candy, we cannot hear you. Husteen says, child, she muted. I love it. Kat Sanchez says, nope. Miss T can't hear Candy. I love it, you guys. Israel says, just going and going. I was going. I was on one. I was reading the article. I was in it. I was ready to go. I was on and popping. So if you can't laugh at yourself, who can you laugh at, right? Kat says, yes, I love it. Yay. Bubble says, oh my peeps, I finally caught a live again. LOL. What's up, Bubbles? Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. All right, you guys. Now you guys are saying we can hear. All right, good. Okay, here we go. Yes, we can hear. All right, I thought I was tripping. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, Bubble says, Jen is too much for me. She's too much for me too, and she's doing the absolute most. Again, I get it. She's about to be sentenced. I don't think she needs to sit at home and sew all day. Like, of course not. But she's moving very messy and suspect for someone who, in all honesty, really could get 14 years in federal prison. Do I think she's going to get that much? No. But she could. And this is the thing. The courts, the judges, the feds, they really look at people's actions and behaviors and attitudes. If you are remorseful, if you try and play a type of penance, sometimes they are very lenient on you. You know, I listen to a lot of true crime, and a lot of times they say when people are up for parole, I'm talking about really bad people. I know Jen Shah is horrible with the wire fraud, but I'm talking about like murderers and things like that. When I listen to true crime, and one thing they say is when someone's up for parole, they have to show remorse. And then even at sentencing, they have to show remorse. They have to show some type of respect for their victims and some type of respect for the legal system, right? And I think people who sort of thumb their nose to the legal system, particularly when they're in hot water, find that the legal system thumbs their nose right back. So the last thing I would be doing if I was Jen Shah would be breaking into BravoCon, getting wasted, telling Tamra Judge, of all people, allegedly that she's not even going to jail. She's out of it. It's fine, blah, 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 blah. And then Tamra Judge, with her messy self, goes on Instagram Live and says, oh, Jen Shah said she's not even getting, any time. She's not going to jail. Everything's cool. Well, sweetheart, if you had some type of situation going on behind the scenes, you probably just blew that up, because the last thing they want to see is people look like they are getting special treatment or that they are above the law. And be very sure they're watching. They're watching. That's the last thing I would do if I was Jen Shah. Also, the last thing I would be doing with Jen Shah is publicly fighting like this. It's not a good look, Jen. It's not a good look. And then also fighting with people on Instagram and Twitter. She's always in some Twitter battle. Shanta says, I hit the like button before I even hear anything. Thank you, Kat. I appreciate that. That's right, you guys. Get those likes up now that we can hear. Yes. I appreciate you, Kat. Caramel Kisses says, check Candy's resources. Thank you, Caramel. I appreciate you too. Miss T is like, bloop, 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 bloop. Exactly. Thank you, Miss T. I appreciate you too. Thank you for holding me down. Caramel Kisses says, wow, Jen. Exactly. Hey, Wonder Woman. Sounds like her in season 1. Always popping off. Always popping off. And you know who the new Jen Shah is? I think it's that Dana woman. I think Dana comes in, she's a friend of, and she's the one who really puts Jen in her place. She pops off just like that. So I think that they're going to probably try to replace Jen Shah with this Dana woman because she pops off just like Jen does in that way. Also, in the footage, was that woman Angie K? Because the woman with the dark hair, she looked familiar, but again, it was hard to see. But she kind of looked like Angie K. But I don't know. But wouldn't they have said that? Or maybe they didn't know to say that. Like maybe they didn't know who she was. But I don't know. Hey Bubbles, I hate slurs so much. Me too. I'm on the fence of teaching my kids what slurs are so they know, or not teaching them so they never know them. I don't know. I just hate them. Yeah, that's a tough situation. That's a tough situation. I mean, I don't have kids, so I don't know, but I would probably err on the caution of not that you're asking me for parenting advice, obviously, but just answering your question. I would probably educate them, because I think it's better to learn certain things at home. So then when they're out in the world, if someone tells them something, or, tries to influence them, they already have the foundation of like, no, it's actually not okay to say that. No, it's actually not cool. I actually don't think that about these people. Whereas if they don't have, the knowledge in the foundation, they might be more easily swayed, or they might say or do something not understanding the full context. But I totally understand you. And again, I'm not a parent. And so that's the toughest job in the world. Toughest job. Hey, Miss T. Oh, Jen. I know. Hey, Caramel Kisses. Jen better call Apollo to get a feel of what to expect. Bloop, bloop. That part. She's not doing herself any favors. If I were her, I would be so remorseful. I would be posting at church, at the mosque. I'm at, the Girls and Boys Club volunteering my time. I'm at Goodwill donating. I'm so remorseful. I'm so sorry. I'm visiting the victims. I'm personally apologizing. Like, I would be doing everything I could to be in the court's good graces. Everything I could. Hey, Bubbles, didn't Jen say she wasn't going to plead guilty when her assistant did? She said she wasn't guilty, so she was going to fight. Exactly. Now, doesn't that sound just like another chick we know called Erica Jane Girardi, who was tweeting about, the CFO guy, what was his name? Kristen Kamen, who got arrested. The feds put out a criminal charges against him and they just arrested him. And she was like, vindication, this stuff that gets crazy and crazier. Girl, boo boo, you don't understand. The Christopher, I think his name is Christopher, the CFO guy at Girardi Keys, that is synonymous to Jen Shah's assistant Stuart. The right-hand person, second in command, the ones who knows how they did the schemes, when they did the schemes, and who was in on the schemes. And the moment Stuart got arrested, he squealed like a pig, sang like a bird, took a plea, and threw Jen under the bus. Because duh, why would you not? If you're second, third in command, and the feds are like, we really want the number one. We want Tom Girardi. We want Jen Shah. And by proxy, Tom Girardi, we want Erica. Because I bet you the feds cannot stand her. I bet you they cannot stand her. Of course they're going to flip. You're going to give me less time. I'm going to get probation. I'm going to get less off the restitution. I'd be singing like a bird. I can't carry a tune in a bucket, but I'd be singing. I'd be like, what do you know? What do you want to know, feds? Here's my diary. Here's my schedule. Let's sync up calendars. This is my iCal. Like, I would be like, what do you want to know? Here's my phone. Please. When you are in that situation, it's dog eat dog. You save yourself first. Just like Erica said, if the plane's going down, put on your own mask first. So you really think, Erica, that this CFO who just got arrested by the feds is going to save you? The same way Jen said this, right? She said she wasn't guilty and she was going to fight it. Okay, keep saying that. Keep saying that. Bubble says at Carmel, stop it. Miss T is like bloop, 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 bloop. Hey, Carmel Kisses. LOL TMZ so messy. They are really messy. Hey, Kat. Jen is a piece of work. She is horrible. She really, really is. Miss T says, where is Andy and Bravo at? Please. Andy tried to wipe his hands of her. That's why he didn't invite her to BravoCon. That's why he was like, oh, she's fired the moment she pled guilty. But he was all up her butt prior to that, all playing like, oh, no, she didn't do it. Innocent until proven guilty, blah, blah, blah. Bye. Hey, Caramel Kisses, is that Meredith? I know. You know what? Let's watch again because now we have about double the people in the room. So we can watch it again. And it's also such a short clip. So let's do a couple more comments and then we will watch the fight again. Bubbles is at Miss T. He's too busy playing favorites. That part. Miss T says Angie husband wins again. And where is Coach Shah? Coach Shah and Jen are never together unless they're filming. Have we seen them together? Unless they're filming? Caramel Kisses. Oh, or Brandy or Bravo and Andy is marketing Lisa R as a good person in the media. We can't, like, hello, come on. That's a whole hot mess. Hey, Bubbles, how was her childhood? My sister had a very hot button, but we had a very bad childhood, so she's always on the defense. Oh, I'm sorry, Bubbles. I'm sorry. I don't know how her childhood was. I think she did say she got a lot of racism being, I don't want to explain her heritage. I want to say I don't even want to say what she is because I don't know 100%. So I don't want to say what her heritage is. But she did say she had a tough time being a minority in Utah. But other than that, I'm not 100% sure. I do want to do a deep dive into Jen and into Coach Shah and into all the allegations. I think that would be really interesting. Hey, soon, Shara, I would be in my house eating pizza. I would be eating pizza. I'd be hanging with my kids. The only thing I would be posting on social media is out volunteering. I'm giving blood. I'm giving plasma. I'm reading to the blind. I'm babysitting children. Like, I would be doing everything I could to be like, I'm Mother Teresa. Like, I'm doing everything I can. Don't send me away in the clink clink. Bubbles says at Carmel 100. The last thing I would be is in these streets on TMZ, cussing and fighting and going off the deep end. Jen, I don't know why you're moving so grimy. Miss T, Andy and Bravo sure can pick them. Yep. Okay, you guys, let's watch it again because there's a lot of more people in the room and it's such a short video that I think we can watch it again. All right, so let's watch. And this time, let's listen. Let's listen for, is the guy in the red shirt, is he saying like Maddie or Mandy? Or is he saying Angie? And then what are they saying about the husbands and everything? And when you watch through the lens of, do you think that this is an argument about what two strangers said, even though it's allegedly a homophobic slur? Or do you think this is an argument that's kind of been ongoing and now it's like popping off? And what they're talking about seems to be something that's been brewing for a bit. He's like, that person would never say that. I believe you. I defend you. The husband said it. Who said it? Who said it? And what the vibe is between Jen and the guy she's fighting with. Doesn't it seem like there's a history there, okay? So let's watch.
Go fuck yourself! Mandy, would you fucking say that? Shut the fuck up! No, fuck that. Don't talk about
Can't. Like, that is so ridiculous. Like, I can't. It is so ridiculous. But one thing I will say is I'm not buying that this was two strangers who said something and that's what kicked off this fight. Like, that is what I'm not buying. Like, that doesn't pass the sniff test. They're fighting over something that's historical. You know what I mean? That's something that they know has happened. Talking about the husbands. And I think he's saying Maddie. Maddie would not say that. Well, how do you know names if they're strangers? You know what I'm saying? But let's get back to your comments. Bubble says, I've been rewatching old Housewives reunions of all towns, and favoritism with Andy is clear. I wish I saw it before. Yeah, we're all seeing the Housewives in new lights and everything going on. Miss T says, Jen is nasty. The way she moves is crazy. That part. Bubble says, Candy has the prettiest smile. I swear. Ah, thank you. You guys want to know something funny? This is off topic, but on topic with the smile. Someone left a comment on one of my videos, and it wasn't a regular Candy Cane because I didn't recognize the username. And they said, actually, I could read it because I think I took a screenshot of it because I thought it was so bizarre that I think I took a screenshot of it. Did I delete it? I think I deleted it. Wait, let me see if it's in my my trash bin. But let me know what you guys think with this person's comment. Oh, where is it? Okay. So this person said, and this is about my smile or my teeth. This person says, this girl is very pretty, but don't people find it odd that regular folk who have YouTube channels happen to have a full set of teeth veneers that rivals any movie stars, and they cost in the neighborhood of $60,000. It kind of tells me they're not regular folk, if you know what I mean. I wrote back, these are my real teeth, but thank you, sweetheart. Like, what? Who the hell said I had veneers? These are my teeth. It was crazy. So Kat says, agree, Candy, with that odd argument, just like they know each other weird. Exactly. It does not seem like this popped off because two strangers said something. I don't buy it. Hey, Gloria, for someone who's about to go to prison, she never spent any time with her husband or children who she claims to love so much. That part. Miss T, Jen is spiraling. Wear it, Coach. Coach is doing a Michael Darby. Coach is doing, see you when I see ya. Coach is probably in Las Vegas with a vasectomy about to go to the Bahamas. You know what I'm saying? Coach is doing Coach. Honestly, Coach, I think, is one of the slickest people. He plays nice, but there's something underneath his niceness that I don't trust. There's something about Coach Shah that I just don't trust. There's something there that I don't trust. I think he knew Jim was scheming and scamming. I think he probably squirreled away some money, and he has that money. I think he's smart enough not to have implicated himself in her fraud, and he's dipping it and doing it with, his side piece or whoever piece or whatever. And he's just counting down the days until she's off to federal prison. Then he's going to take out his little money that he squirreled, and he's going to dip it and do it with the person that he's dipping it and doing it with. That's what I think. I think Coach Shah probably is really the sniper from the side. There's just something about him that I don't trust, if that makes sense. Hey, Caramel Kisses, could it be about Jen's husband? Nothing would surprise me nowadays. Nothing would surprise me either. Bubble says yes. Hey, Vaca. Vaca says, hey, Vaca. Happy Monday night. Hey, Kat, Jen should be on her best behavior right now. I mean, the absolute best. Bubble says that's where everyone suddenly finds Jesus, right? I would be like, I'm praying. This is my prayer cloth. I'm meditating. I'm journaling. I would be doing the absolute most to look as innocent and remorseful as possible. Miss T, Jen says she is innocent until the plea day. Bubble says, hey, Vaca. Miss T says, or they go blind during trial. That's right, like Mr. Bill Cosby. They either go blind or all of a sudden they're in a wheelchair. It's too hard to walk. Like, they do the absolute most. Miss T says, yup, a quote disability. Exactly. Miss T's laughing at Bubbles. Hey, Shay B, what's up, sweetheart? She goes, yes. Hey, Shay. Carmel Kisses says, hey, Vaca. Doing the absolute most. All right, let's see more of your comments. Your comments are so fun. Bubble says, no, that's a very good point. They can stick up for the wronging. I really appreciate that advice. Yes. That's right. They could stick up for the wrong thing if they don't have that, foundation of what's right and what's wrong. They might be swayed. So I would rather teach them the right way. Shay B says, no, not at all. Praise the Lord. Thank you, Jesus, whatever it takes. Exactly, Shay. I would find all of the Jesuses. I'd be like, praise Allah. I would be like, here's the Torah. Where's my Bible at? Get me the Quran real quick. Universe, ask, believe, receive. I would be doing everything, because one thing I know I am not built for, it is the clink, clink, the sing, sing, whatever it's called. I'm not built for it. I would just crumble in a corner, and they'd be like, what happened to Candy? And they'd be like, she melted. I'm just not built for it. I know myself. I'm not built for that life. So thankfully, I won't do any wire fraud like this chick. Hey, Shay B, praise the Lord. That's right. Ms. T says, Jen doesn't believe in community service. As T says, if only her money had been real, she would have been a formidable housewife. She is TV gold. That is true. That is true. If only her money was real and they weren't victims. Like, that is the truth. Bubble says, facts. Yes, strong facts. Hey, Miss T, Bravo can pick a criminal. It's honestly like every single franchise has some type of criminal. Now, what about New York? And I'm not counting Luann getting blackout drunk and kicking someone and whatever. I'm not counting that. We're giving Luann some grace, okay? We're giving Luann some grace. She was going through a lot. She lost her countess. Her husband was cheating on her. She was blackout drunk. We're giving Luann some grace. But were there any fraudsters on New York? Like schemers, other than Luann's husband, Tom, who I think is like a grifter or ex-husband? But I don't know. We'll see about that one. Hey, Bubbles, not to boo-boo. Us women gonna speak facts when we say boo-boo now. Exactly. Hey, Miss T, Jen said all these people work for me on camera. Girl. Jen, you are not where the money resides. And again, did Jen and Erica get together and say, how can we be the most hated women in America? And how can we be the world's dumbest criminals? And how can we really piss off the feds? I don't know. How about Erica Jane getting drunk at the table talking about, my ring is $45,000 and these earrings are now valued at $1.3 million and my handbag is $55,000 and I have all of these things, and all the women are sitting around like, girl, you better shut up. Or it could be Jen Shah. All these people work for me. Let me go out, scream and yell and curse. Let me tell Tamara Judge, who's going on an Instagram live, telling everybody that I'm laughing and saying I'm not going to jail. Everything's cool and fine. Did they get together? Did they have a ponderosa and said, how can we disrespect the victims even more? How can we disrespect people's intelligence? How can we disrespect the courts and the law? How can we just be even more hated? I know. It's crazy. Hey, Bubble, same, especially if I wasn't guilty. Oh my gosh. Carmel Kisses says, save Kitty, LOL, right? I'm like, I would be doing everything. A prayer cloth. I'd be converting to every religion you had. Please, I would be doing the absolute most. Miss T, Coach also knows the deal. He played it quiet. Exactly. He played it perfectly. He played it quiet. He was willing to downsize. Our biggest expense is this house. Let's downsize to pay your legal bills. I support my wife, blah, 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 blah. He is playing it perfectly. A little too perfectly. I don't trust Coach Shah. Was he the one who called the feds on Jen? Was he tired of her? Was he the leak? Was Coach Shah the leak? They said it was Meredith, but I don't believe it was Meredith. Was Coach Shah the blah, 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 blah? Yo, feds, listen. There's this lady named Jen Shah. Yup, Salt Lake City. Yeah, you know her on Bravo. Yup, there she is. Who am I? Just a concerned citizen. Like, you know what I mean? Like, did Coach Shah set Jen up because he squirreled away enough money and he was tired of her antics and he's ready to live his truth with the fraud money? Because I just don't buy that he didn't know. And I also don't buy that he doesn't have some money squirreled away. Same thing with Erica Jane. Coach Shah and Erica Jane, to me, are very much similar, same boat. You knew what your spouse was doing. You profited from the fraud. And you have money squared away. because Coach Shaw's pretending, oh, we have to downsize this house, but he's not actually acting. I mean, I guess he still has his own job and his own money, right? But if Jen was the breadwinner and they have this lavish lifestyle, again, he's not acting like someone whose wife just lost the bulk of their income. He's also not acting shocked. And he's also, and this is another thing, now that I'm on it, now I'm just on one right now. Happy Monday night, guys. Candy's on one. Like, why am I drinking coffee right now? Okay, anyway. So now that I'm thinking about it, the fact that Coach Shah is still standing by Jen and didn't flinch when she pled guilty kind of shows me he was in on it. Kind of does. Because let's think about this. Say you're married to someone, right? Oh, Shabby. He's probably out hooking up a Heather. I'm on to something. Oh, Shabby, we see each other. Because let's think about this, right? Let's ride this thought out. If I'm married to someone and they are accused of this horrific crime, because it is a horrific crime. There were elderly people, there were at-risk people, there were vulnerable people who trusted their life savings, their pension plans, their retirement funds, or just their money, period, to this woman and this company, and they stole from them. That's horrific. That's horrific. That's a violation. That is trauma. That's a lot. You know what I'm saying? So to be accused of that, and I sit here and I say, no, he's innocent. We're going to fight this. He's innocent. He did not do this. I know my husband. He's innocent. And I'm out here windmilling for him. He's innocent. And then all of a sudden he's like, psych, guilty. And I don't flinch. There's not a glitch in the marriage. There's not wait a minute, you're not the man I married. I don't know who you are. I didn't know you had the capacity to do this. What else are you hiding? I've been looking crazy out here defending you. There has been no reaction from Coach Shah of surprise or shock or betrayal. So to me, that says you were in on it and you knew it. You're not shocked and you don't feel betrayed because you knew. Same thing with what's her face, Ashley over in Potomac. When Candace said, oh, well, your husband leaves you, he goes to a male sex worker and he likes to S his D. Ashley didn't flinch. She was like, and? That's old news. And what are you talking about? I go over there too. Who cares? She didn't flinch. She didn't care. And she never denied it. The next episode, she had some weird thing. She was like, oh, yeah, well, I don't believe it. And they were like, yeah, girl, bye, please. Stop lying. But in the moment when that news first hits you, you have no reaction. Same thing with Salt Lake City, right? With Justin Rose and Whitney Rose. When Justin got fired from his job, Life Advantage. When they had that conversation, it was a little too scripted. Well, Whitney, they, since you're a public figure, they said they just had to let me go, and she's like, what? Because your wife has a job and she's successful? This is what I felt growing up. Women don't have a voice. And she's like, no, Whitney. Justin Rose got fired allegedly, or maybe it's just a scheme they put together, because his company is involved in a class action lawsuit. And the more eyes on the lawsuit, the more people are more likely to join it. And that's why you being a, quote, public figure is now problematic, because they don't want eyes on the lawsuit, because it's the class action lawsuit. And anyone can join it if they have certain criteria. So it's the non-reaction for me. It's the non-glitch in the marriage. If you were having marital problems before this, which they were, they said that they were on the brink of divorce, that they had, had some space between them for a while. Things weren't going well. They were fighting and all of that stuff. She even said the family had to come together and be like, let's save the marriage, right? So if you're on the brink of divorce, before she pleads guilty. You're out here saying she is innocent, and then she actually pleads guilty, and you guys are stronger than ever? Is that because you don't want her to flip on you? You see what I'm saying? You got to think about how people react. And a person wouldn't react like that. I would be like, I'm betrayed. How dare you? I've been out here windmilling for you, and now I look stupid. Ms. T says Meredith is going to disengage again. I'm disengaging. Not going to lie, I now currently use disengage in my normal vocabulary when I just don't want to be bothered. I'm disengaging. Hey, Caramel Kisses. Yep, at Miss T, Coach knows his assignment. Yep. Hey, Miss T, Coach doesn't want to lose his job playing with Jen. That part too. Hey, Sunchera, reading to the blind. Oh my God. I would be doing the absolute most. Whatever kept me out of jail, I would be doing the absolute most. I'm like, oh, you need me to scrub something? I'll scrub it. I'd be doing anything. Hey, Bubbles. Well, I could see that. Being from Georgia, they're finally starting to be more accepting, but me growing up, they were not. It was bad for minorities. Luckily, I came from a family that has taught us better. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Let's see. Miss T says TMZ doesn't sleep. That part. Hey, Bubbles. I don't like a man talking to a woman like that. It's too aggressive for comfort for me. I agree. I agree 100%. Miss T says, what guy is she yelling at? I don't know who he is. He just some guy in like a red t-shirt, right? Like, who is that? It's just a lot. Caramel Kisses does not look like two random strangers just started hurling slurs. Looks more like a conversation happened and got intense. Exactly. Exactly. Hey, Sunshira. She goes, all the yelling and screaming. I can't tell what they're saying. Yeah, you have to. I had to watch it a couple of times and figure it out, but it's a lot. Hey, Bubbles. Oh, I see it now. Hey, Wanda. Sounds like the guy said Mandy Maddie wouldn't say that. Yeah, like Mandy Maddie. Exactly. The very first time I heard it, I thought it was Angie. But the more I listen to it, I agree, Wanda. It's like a Mandy or like a Maddie. Like Maddie wouldn't say that. Mandy wouldn't say that. Something like that. Maddie wouldn't say that. This T says, oh, wow. I know. Bubbles, your teeth are not veneers. You can tell. I know. I was like, what? But thank you. Like, I'll take it as a compliment. You know, I always see everything. At least I try to. I always try to see everything through a positive lens, right? So I actually take it as a compliment that he thought my teeth were veneers. But no, they're my teeth. Hey, Caramel Kisses, what sounds like a weirdo candy? I know. That's why I took a screenshot, because I was like, wait a minute. Let me document this person's username. Like, let me just document this. Miss T says make no sense. I know. It was a hot mess. Hey, Sunchira. She goes, veneers, nah, you're a beautiful girl. Thank you. TMWT, no trust here either. Exactly. Hey, Caramel Kisses. I can't believe Coach didn't know anything about the transactions in his household. I think it's an Erica situation, in my opinion. 100%. 100%. Hey, ST, Coach Shaw is with his side chick. That part, it's true. Coach Shaw is very sneaky. He's had a woman on the side. Then I think Heather would get with him if she could get away from the cameras and judgment. I agree 100%. Carmel Kisses, does Potomac and Atlanta have criminals? I mean, Atlanta had Apollo and by proxy Phaedra, because again, I don't think that Apollo made any move that Phaedra did not know about. But I think he took the L. You know, he was like, I'm gonna go down. You know, my wife, the mother of my kids. I'm not gonna dime you out. You stay back. You take care of the kids. You hold everything down. So we had Apollo. Peter probably with some fraudulent stuff. He just seems like a schemer. But I don't know anybody maybe to this level. But Apollo did go to federal prison. We obviously know New Jersey, Teresa, Salt Lake City, Jen Shah. And then other reality TV shows have people like that, but I'm not 100% sure. But yeah. Hey, ST, Potomac and Atlanta never had any fraudsters or criminals. Don't forget about Apollo. Miss T, Jen is trying to save her job. Yup, because Andy said she was fired. And she's like, I'm not fired. Okay, Jen, you're going to jail. Cool the jets. Hey, Caramel Kisses at ST. I didn't think so. Thank you. Hey, Bubbles. Rewatching the first season of New York, Alex and her hubs gave me the creeps. They're still together, but their obsession with socialite is weird to me. I don't give an F about status, lol. I just want to be happy. They're very weird. There's a story about them. I'm not going to personally repeat it, but it makes me want to makes me want to vomit. They are very bizarre. Very bizarre. Ms. T, Atlanta had a few. Carmel, yeah. Yeah. Carmel says, oh, at Miss T. Bubble says, at Miss T, Kim, she never pays her stuff. That's true. There was also Kim Zolciak. She allegedly, I don't know I haven't been following her whole house foreclosure. Is it foreclosed? Is it not foreclosed? Did it sell for $275K? I haven't been following that because I personally just don't care. But I do think that there's been some weird fraudulent stuff. I think she was also in a lawsuit with Kandi Burruss because she didn't pay her correctly for the song that Kandi wrote. It's just a lot. Miss T, Feds got Bravo on 24/7. That part. Sun Shira says Teresa G didn't know. Okay. She knew. Hey, ST at Karma, not that I know of. Oh, and don't forget, I don't know if you guys watch Southern Charm, but what was his name? Ravenel. I forget what his first name is. Thomas Ravenel on Southern Charm. He was a big socialite, legacy politician guy, and he got in a lot of trouble, and he got kicked off the show because he was accused of assaulting a woman and all this stuff. So their other shows have people like that too. Hey, Bubbles. Honestly, I'm 29, but I've been married for 5 years and with him for 10. I would notice the difference in income and ask questions whether it benefited me or not. Maybe that's the Virgo in me. That's the thing. A, congratulations on being married for 5 years. That's awesome. B, I agree with you 100%. I just don't buy the I didn't know excuse. I don't buy it. You know when the person that you sleep with and you lay with at night, you know what they're up to. You may not understand it. You may not actively participate in it, but you know when something's up. You do. You might choose to turn the other way. You might choose to be complicit. You might choose to pretend like you don't know. But I highly, highly doubt the people who say they had no idea really had no idea. Oh, you had no idea where you're buying these mansions and these cars from? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Miss T, exactly. Kim, Apollo, Peter, 100%. Hey, Bubbles at Miss T, I said that somewhere else, and someone said Peter owns 6 restaurants around the U.S. now, so I'm stupid. Who said you were stupid, Bubbles? You are not stupid, and Peter has some problems. When we did the Cynthia breakdown, she had to sue him for about $170K that he owed her because one of the businesses he had, one of the bar ones, foreclosed. So come on now. You're not stupid. Don't ever let anybody say that to you, Bubbles. I'm sorry somebody called you that. Forget them. Hey, Miss T, Coach stays cool in all things. I don't trust him. There's just something about him that I just don't trust. Kat says your Whitney impression is spot. I can't stand Whitney. I can't. I got to be honest. I cannot stand her because I don't like the way she moves. I think she's really messy. I think she deliberately lies. I can't stand Whitney. I can't stand her. I like Heather more than Whitney, and that's saying a lot because I don't like Heather either. Hey, ST, Coach Saw is like Erica. Exactly. They have never been shocked or angry enough for someone who is just fighting about something criminal. 100%. Their reactions have never, ever, in my personal opinion, been authentic to a person who is actually feeling betrayed, who is actually shocked, who is actually confused, who is actually facing financial ruin. Coach Shah does not really act like he's facing financial ruin. I mean, again, he has a job. He is a coach and all of that stuff. Coach Shah. I'm not knocking that, but it still doesn't feel right. Erica, as much as she wants to be an actress, she sucks. I'm sorry. I'm just going to call it a thing. Erica, you suck. Okay. You need to go back to classes. She sucks. Nobody is buying that she believes that she is actually destitute. What Erica is crying about is the fact that she has to answer to it, not that she actually thinks she doesn't have any money. Hey, Miss T, Coach had a head injury, so he might not know what happened. Don't forget, he was bleeding out of his butt when the feds came. Didn't he say he was bleeding out of his butt at the reunion? When they were like, oh, you know, were you calling Jen to tip her off? And she was like, oh, Coach Shah has internal bleeding. Coach Shah, you could come up with something better than that. Kat says, if Coach even tried to divorce Jen, she would freak out, take every penny, and hire someone to hunt him down and torture him slowly. She is scary. She is very scary. She's very scary. Like, we just saw the clip. Yikes. Hey, Sunshira, Kris Jenner was in tears when Bruce changed his birth certificate, which meant Bruce was never born. Oh, no. Oh, no, I know. Miss T, WTF, Peter definitely counts at Bubbles. Yeah, Peter totally counts. Yes, Kat says at ST, exactly. Hey, Bubbles, yes, 100%. Peter definitely counts, and Peter is not up to snuff. Speaking of Peter not being up to snuff, I am really interested in the next episode of Potomac. When Peter is already on the phone with Mia and he's like, I have a beef with Wendy. First of all, Peter, you're allegedly a grown-ass man. Why are you beefing with any of the women? It does not sit well with me when a man says I have a beef with a woman in any context, playing or not. And clearly he wasn't playing. Why were you all in Nini's face? Why were you all in Kenya's face? You're all in Portia's face. You're always in some woman's face, Peter. Causing drama, stirring the pot, being too close for comfort. Go away, Peter. Go away. And remember, Peter and Apollo were supposed to do some show together about like real estate or construction, flipping houses or something. Two schemers and fraudsters. Sounds like PK and Mauricio trying to do a real estate show. Two fraudsters getting together to do a real estate show. Mm-hmm. Hey, Sunshira, Kris Jenner was in tears. Yup, when Bruce admitted he changed his birth certificate. Exactly. Shay B, you can tell when you take care of your teeth. That's why you are so beautiful. Ah, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Don't floss. ST Apollo is not a housewife. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter if he's a housewife. He was still on the show. It's still by proxy. And I think Phaedra knew. What's the difference between Phaedra and Erica? What's the difference? Both were married to two men who allegedly did white-collar crimes. So if we're going after Erica, what's the difference between Erica and Phaedra? Apollo counts. I think Phaedra was basically just like, my name Bennett, I ain't in it. And Apollo just said, okay, you know what? You stay home and hold us down. Let me go do this time and I'll come and whatever. You know what I mean? But what's the difference? Hey, Miss T, no, I can't wait. The Charms in the House shows. Yeah. No, I can't watch the Charms in the House shows. Yeah, they are pretty tough. Hey, Miss T, VPR is another example of people behaving horribly. Vanderpump Rules, that is actually another really good point. They get wasted, they get blackout drunk, they fight, they cuss, they do all of it. On Vanderpump Rules back in the day, Tom Sandoval punched Jax in the face because Jax was sleeping with his girlfriend. Stassi Schroeder, who has since been canceled because of her racism, she slapped Kristen Doty, who also got canceled because of her racism. This is the crazy thing. Let me tell you this crazy thing about Vanderpump Rules. Stassi Schroeder and Kristen Doty were best friends along with Katie Maloney, okay? At that time, Stacy was dating this guy named Jax, and Kristen was dating a guy named Tom Sandoval, okay? All of these people are white, okay? Stassi finds out that Kristen has been sleeping with Jax. So one of her best friends has been having a sexual affair with her boyfriend, Jax. Her best friend is also dating Tom Sandoval, who is best friends with Jax. So it's like if you had Kyle Richards and Mauricio, and if Mauricio and Dorit were sleeping together, and then PK's Mauricio's best friend. It's that situation. She finds out. They have a huge fight. She slaps her in her face. She pops her in her face, and Tom Sandoval also punched Jack in his face. This all happened on camera. They all got into these physical fights on camera. No retaliation. Bravo didn't say we don't condone violence. Nothing from Bravo. No consequence. Nothing. A little time passes. Now Stassi and Kristen are back being BFFs. Jax has moved on. Now he's with another girl named Brittany. Okay. Jax is known as a known cheater. He sleeps with anything and anyone that moves, whatever. He has a cheater. He's been cheating on everybody. Jax then goes and sleeps with this girl named Faith. Faith is literally one of the only Black people on that show. There's another manager who's Black. He pops in at maybe like once every other season. Faith is the only Black woman on that show. Only Black woman on that show. Her name's Faith. She actually used to date Lisa Vanderpump's son, Max. So Max and Faith used to date, but they were not dating at the time. Jax and Faith have sex. Okay? While he's with Brittany. Tell me why Stassi and Kristen, refresher course, Stassi is Jack's ex-girlfriend. Kristen is the one who was Stassi's best friend that had sex with Jax while they were together. Took it upon themselves to call the police on Faith. And they said the reason why they called the police on her was because they were mad at her that she slept with Jax. How dare she sleep with Jax when he was dating Brittany? And there was like a bolo. It was like, you get those bulletins and it's like, and on the bulletin, it was a Black girl or Black woman rather, who was going around doing some like thief scheme. Like she was like, forgot exactly what it was. She was like, robbing from elderly or robbing from people or something like that. And they literally called the police on her and tried to turn her into LAPD. Thank God LAPD was like, this isn't a credible report, like, go away. Nobody knew about that until Faith came out and said it. This was right around like 2020, 21. She came out, she did an interview, and she told it how much it hurt her that these two girls literally called the police on her because they got an alert about a Black woman being some sort of thief. And because Faith was a Black woman, they called the LAPD on her, trying to get her arrested and in trouble. This was also right during the height of Breonna Taylor, who was a young Black woman literally sleeping in her bed when the police came in and shot her dead in her house when she was just sleeping in her bed. This was right around that same exact time. Unfortunately, calling the police can end in death. I mean, we call a thing over here. I don't know why I got into that story. Oh, Vanderpump Rules, that's right. But to me, it was wild. It was wild. So, Stassi, you forgive your best friend for having sex with your boyfriend. You popped her in the face. We got that. But now you think it's your place. And Kristen, you are the best friend who slept with your best friend's boyfriend and cheated on your boyfriend with his best friend. Now, these are the two chicks who thought it was their place to vindicate Brittany because Faith slept with Jax, who at the current moment is neither of them men. Jax wasn't with Stassi or Kristen. That's the type of cuckoo-doodle-doo, racist, crazy stuff that Bravo has got going on. And because it happened in the height of Breonna Taylor and BLM, they fired them, as they should have. As they should have. Unfortunately, in certain circumstances, calling the police on a Black person, male or female, literally could lead to their death. Literally, it could. It's nothing to play with. And how disgusting. How disgusting. And Kristen, I think, has shown the most remorse. To me, Stassi Schroeder, she can stay canceled. She keeps trying to have a comeback with her corny little podcast. Shut up, Stassi. Just go away. Just go away. It was disgusting. All right, let me get off of that tangent. But that always pisses me off. They call the police on the only black girl on the show because she literally did exactly what all of them do. Disgusting. Hey, Miss T. Oh, that's right. Okay, let's get to it. ST, and you definitely know when tons of money is coming in your household or account. Exactly. Hey, Caramel Kisses, make sure to hit that like button. That's right, you guys. Get those likes up. Hey, Shay B, Erica knew something because the previous year she kept saying, yes, rectal bleeding, says Miss T. I mean, you couldn't think of a better excuse than rectal bleeding. Ay, ay, ay. Samantha says, I bet Mary is laughing her A off right now. Listen, Mary was smart. Mary was like, look, the block got a little too hot. Because let's be real, you know, Mary has her own situations when it comes to where she gets her money from, okay? Mary was like, the block is too hot. Let me fall back. You know what I mean? She was like, let me fall back because I want to keep my church. I want to keep my congregants. I want to keep, you know, my houses that are hoarded with, you know, everything from Rodeo Drive. You know, Mary was like, the block is too hot. Let me dip out. Because Mary might be a lot of things, but Mary is no fool. And she was like, I'm not going to the reunion because I don't want to answer any questions. And then she was like, the block is hot. I'm out. I'm out. Mary did what we said we would all do if we knew the feds were onto us. I would be reading to the blind. I would be volunteering. I would be sewing. I would be quiet as a church mouse. Mary did what we all would do when we knew the block is hot. Fall back. Fall all the way back. Hey, Shay B. Erica knew something because the previous year she was saying that some of the lawsuits had been settled, and that was before we knew the real deal. Erica definitely knew. And they also had the contingency plan. Erica, if you didn't know what he was doing was fraudulent, then how did you know to have the contingency plan? We've talked about it here. The moment the block got real hot with Erica and Tom, they called in their friend, Richard Lewis III, who's another attorney. He's the one who went to Florida, opened up the Wells Fargo account, and he's been funneling money, over $500,000 at this point. Who knows how much now? That was just when it was last reported, to Erica. That's the contingency plan. And then all of a sudden, he had dementia. Bye. Hey, Miss T, Mia and Peter became friends when? Exactly. Peter is giving thirsty. Yeah, I'm a little scared to watch next episode because I'm concerned. I'm concerned about the Peter, Wendy, Mia situation. Mia is doing the most. I used to like Mia, but after this episode and what I feel is coming up, you can miss me, messy Mia. You can miss me. Like, is Jacqueline right? Like, are your beef your fault? Hey, Sunchira, that's why Peter was called the B word. Bloop, that part. Hey, Miss T, Patricia is mad he can't get Wendy's check to clear. Hey, it's T. Yeah, Coach Shaw talks to Jen like he's playing the long game. He talks calmly and smoothly to her, knowing she will soon be gone. Basically, Coach Shaw is biding his time. He's biding his time. Miss T, not toothless or homeless. Yes. As T says, Erica is a housewife. So was Phaedra. Phaedra was also a housewife. Hey, Wanda, woman, Phaedra is a lawyer, so she knew how to protect herself like she did before. Exactly. And don't forget, Coach Shaw also is what? A lawyer. And again, we don't believe in coincidence. We believe in conspiracy. I don't think it's a coincidence that Coach Shaw stopped practicing law the same exact year that Jen Shah started her fraudulent business. He just happens to give up law the same year she starts her fraud business. Just randomly, he's like, you know what? Now I don't want to be a lawyer anymore. Let me go coach basketball. Very suspicious. Hey, Candy Dean, Erica sucks so bad. She's mad she used all the cash, all about her. Jen needs to pay for all her butt is guilty. Put her away. She's just stupid. Put her away. Put them both away. Put them underneath the jail. Kat says at Miss T is laughing. Miss T says LVP told the lies only on the black girl. They treated Faith horribly. They treated her horribly. Hey, Candy Dean, Jen needs to pay Erica. Needs to pay by. Yeah, they all need to pay. They both need to pay. Misty, Jack slept with them all. He did. He did. I think the only person on that show he never slept with was Katie. But Jack slept with all the women, and he cheated on all of them. He slept with everybody. I'm everybody. I used to see the Vanderpump Rules kids out a lot. When I used to go out, I don't go out that much anymore. During the lockdown, I slowed down a lot, but I used to see them out all the time. They were always out, dipping it and doing it. I used to see them all the time. Hey, ST, I'm specifically talking about housewives who have committed crimes. I believe Erica is guilty, but time will tell. Yeah, and Phaedra, more than likely, aided and abetted and knew that her husband was committing crimes. Her husband is Apollo, and Apollo went to federal prison for white-collar crimes. Same thing with Erica. Erica allegedly aided and abetted her husband, Tom Girardi, who would be facing all of these charges if he was not in a nursing home. You know what I'm saying? So Erica and Phaedra are the same, except that Phaedra knew how not to get her hands dirty, and Apollo took the fall for the entire situation. So there's really no difference between Erica and Phaedra in this particular analogy, other than the fact that Phaedra was able to get out of it unscathed. But do I think Phaedra didn't know what Apollo was doing? Absolutely not. You know, Apollo was already in jail and he got out of jail and then he was making all this money. Come on, you know what I'm saying? Hey, Candy Dean, who doesn't Jax sleep with is the question. That part. Samantha, isn't Jax Garcelle's son? Two different Jacks. Two totally different Jacks. The Jax we're talking about is on Vanderpump Rules. He's a grown man. Jax is Garcelle's son is I think he's 14, maybe 15 now, on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Two totally different Jacks. Misty, Tom was so hurt. Crazy white kids. Tom was so hurt. I mean, how could you not be? He was like, did you wear a condom? Did you wear a condom? Because I'm sure he was like, Jax probably is really nasty down there. He slept with my girlfriend, and then I slept with my girlfriend. He's probably like, do I have to get checked out? Because they were slopping crazy. Candy Dean says, Bravo needs a check. Yeah. I won't let Jax sleep with my dog. No, Jax is scary. Jax is psycho. Jax to me, again, I'm not a doctor. I don't diagnose, but Jax to me seems very sociopathic. Like legit a sociopath. Miss T, Jax cheated on Brittany with Faith, right? Right? Exactly. Yes. Jax cheated on Brittany with Faith, 100%. Hey, Wanda, I would never be friends with Kristen again. Exactly. But nope, they're laughing. They're kikiing. They're friends. You know, what are we going to do Saturday night? Let's call the LAPD. I'm the only black girl on the show. Let's do it. That's why you got fired, as you should have been. Disgusting. Hey, Candy Dean, Jack's a dog. His A is old and tired. Jack needs to retire. His old A is done. He also got fired because of racism. So this is the thing. Vanderpump Rules, they did a sweep firing. As we know, Stassi and Kristen both got fired for racism. To me, or to my knowledge, let me say this. To my knowledge, that was the first time I saw Kristen do anything racist, to my personal knowledge. Stassi, however, had a history of very problematic behavior, talking about white privilege. She dressed up in a questionable outfit and she said, I'm Nazi chic. That's what she called herself. And so they got a lot of backlash from that. She had a podcast. She said some questionable things about Black people and Asian and other people, other groups of people. Stassi was problematic for a very long time. She's now like, I've learned and I've worked on myself. Shut up, Stassi. You're done. Bye. We won't talk to you anymore. Jax ended up getting Jax and Brittany by proxy. Jax got fired because it turned out he also was saying very racist things. I forgot who the person was, but it was another reality star, not on Vanderpump Rules, but on a different reality show. And he was saying, oh, your boyfriend looks like a monkey, his big nose. And obviously the person was a Black male. Those got leaked. So Jack was saying very, very problematic things. You never equate a black person to a monkey or whatever and talk about the nose and all that stuff. He got fired. They also had 2 newbies on the show, Max and somebody else. They were boring as hell. They could have left anyway, but it turned out they also had a past of racism, tweeting the N-word and this, that, and the third, and saying and all this stuff that also resurfaced. So Vanderpump Rules, in the span of 1 season, lost Kristen, Stassi, Jax, Brittany, Max, and the other dude. Lost 6 cast members due to racism. If that is not a problem, I don't know what is. How does one show lose 6 cast members due to racism and not any type of, is it racism? Is it not racism? Let's talk about it. No, like straight up racism. Straight up. Very problematic. Very, very problematic. But that's Bravo. Hey, Miss T, they plan to reboot LVR. They have to. Just like I said, they lost 6 members and the show is not doing well. The people on it now cannot carry it. Hey, Miss T, next episode, Mia's going to hit and throw things. Oh, is that the one where she throws the drink in Wendy's face? Mia, miss me with that. Miss me. ST, Phaedra did not go to jail. Just because somebody doesn't go to jail doesn't mean they did not commit a crime. Those are 2 different things. Hey, Miss T, Meredith, too, they all have a lawyer on the criminal cast. Good point. Miss T, remember Phaedra got the cash from her client in the parking lot? Yes. And like she said, I did a sketchy calculation. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, if Erica somehow does not go to jail, I still think she's guilty. There are a lot of criminals who don't go to jail, and there are a lot of innocent people who are in jail. So just because someone doesn't go to jail, and unfortunately, just because somebody is in jail, does not always reflect their true innocence or guilt. You see what I'm saying? Thank you, Miss T. Yes, right. If you love candy, like this live. Yes. Hey, Miss T. Guess it's racism. It's a lot. Yes. All right, you guys. This has been so much fun. I was going to pop on for a little bit, but now we've been on for over an hour. Thank everybody for their comments. Thank everybody for coming through. We had such a fun time. Happy Monday night. As always, put your comments down below. What do you make of Jen Shah still doing the most? Still out here swearing and just being a complete disaster out here in these streets. What do you think the feds think? What do you think Coach Shah thinks? And what do you think is going to happen to Jen? Do you think she's just going to get a slap on the wrist and get probation? Or do you think she's going to get any actual jail time? And if she does get jail time, how much or how little do you think she will get? But before you do that, that's right, Wanda. Yep. And another lady wrote a book saying she did time behind Phaedra. That is true. That is 100% true. There was that woman who had the book. 100%. Because remember when Candy said it, when Phaedra was trying to sue Candy, well, she didn't end up not suing her, but she took that meeting with Candy's ex-employee who was trying to say that the play was his idea, A Mother's Love, or the restaurant, OLG or something. And she's like, I did a sketchy calculation. And he was trying to get workers' comp or some crap. And then Candy said, well, how would you feel if I was working with the woman who wrote the book about you? Yep. ST says, I'm not going to accuse Phaedra of committing a crime when no feds came looking for Phaedra. Dun, 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 dun. All right, you guys, we did it. Have a good night, everybody. As always, leave your comments down below. And also be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it when we go live. And be sure to share this with a friend because a Kiki is always better with community. Check out our description box down below and shop our love collection. If I did not get to anybody's comment, I am sorry. I went through as many as I could, but we're going to call it a night because I want to go eat. So with that, you guys, I love you so much and I will see you guys next time. Bye.
Welcome to Sugar Pills, a practical guide to self-care. where your host, writer, actor, and producer Candy Washington helps you live a more joyful life with a cheeky dash of pop culture news. Be sure to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and join the conversation on Instagram at Candy Washington. Let's go!